Living from our heart, living from our core, living from our power, we all get more. We are powerful women.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Transformation Summit. I'm Sue Erda. I'm your host for this summit, and I'm also one of the publishers at Powerful You Publishing. And we are so grateful. I specifically am grateful to be able to host this summit so that I get to talk to and interview these amazing women who are the authors of the book, The Art and Truth of Transformation for Women. And it is filled with personal stories of their own transformation, their own personal journey, things that they've been through, things they have learned, how they're doing in life these days. And you will love it. You'll be inspired and motivated and feel empowered as you read their stories. And today I'm so happy to be able to talk to one of our authors, Cindy Faye Lybbert. She is a wonderful woman. She is in Oregon right now, and I am so happy to talk to her. And I'm going to read a brief introduction of Cindy, and then we'll hear from her. Cindy Faye Lybbert is a testament to the power of faith and the courage of spirit. Through courageous perseverance and keen desire to thrive, she overcame life challenges and discovered a divine calling to be of service to others. As an empath and master in the healing arts, Cindy takes clients on a healing journey that helps transform their wounds and create miracles. She takes great joy in helping men, women, and children around the world heal on all levels of abuse, healing the mind, body, and spirit. Cindy knows that healing can happen quickly and easily, and she also believes in the power of faith and that God is the ultimate healer. And Cindy, I'm happy to welcome you today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing very well today.
Great, great. And I like your topic that you chose. I actually love your topic, extraordinary healing, healing the wounds and creating the miracles of happiness, success, and wealth. And anytime somebody's talking about miracles, I'm all in. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say about those types of miracles. But let's start here. Why don't you tell us, Cindy, the things that have happened along your life, something about your personal journey and how it led you to where you are right now today.
Certainly, thank you. Well, I come from a large family. There's 9 children, and I grew up on a farm, so we're all farmers. But I remember when I was 6 years old, my father handed us each a bucket and said, "This is how you pick cherries." So we started work at a very young age, and after the cherries were picked, we had to do the apricots, and then there are prunes, and then there's pears, peaches, apples. So our whole summer was taken up, excuse me, of farming and taking care of the animals and feeding them. So I couldn't wait until summer ended and school began. Well, when I was in first grade, I had a teacher who was emotionally abusive and physically abusive, a bully. And so because of this and dealing with bullies throughout all the school years, I shut down. I became quiet and shy. And I built a cocoon around myself because I did not want to be seen and I didn't want to be heard. So I can associate with very many people who deal with this. And through the years, once I started college, I started making friends. I married at age 26, had 2 little children. And 10 years later, my husband wanted a divorce. So I went through divorce. I was a single parent. My children were only 3 and 5 at the time. So I had a lot of adjustments to make. And at the age of 45, I heard God's voice say, "It's time to heal." And I heard it as plain as day. I was home and nobody else was around me. And I've always been spiritual. My oldest sister used to take my sisters and I, when we were younger, to church. So I understood and knew God. But I didn't know the impact that this was going to have on my life. But as the days were going on, I was dealing with memories and PTSD, and because of abusive marriage, I had a friend that suggested I see a therapist. So I started seeing her, and after 6 months, she helped me get through the rough parts, which is really good. But it came to a point that I knew I didn't need her help anymore. I really felt deep inside that I needed to heal from the inside out, and I didn't know how to do that. Well, one day a friend handed me a flyer and said, "I think you might be interested in this." And it was a flyer about an Academy of the Healing Arts, and I attended, and it was absolutely wonderful. I learned reflexology, Reiki, therapeutic touch, about essential oils, massage. So I started to heal from the inside out. But there are things that I were doing that others can do to help them on their journey. And I was also using prayer and meditation and journaling. Journaling was a big, very big, important step for me because I couldn't speak very well at the time or express myself. I could do it in writing. And I understand there's some people that can't even do that. They're so closed down. So
Wow. So you were able to heal yourself.
Yes, yes. When I was going through all of this, I started having some health issues, and I went to a couple doctors, and they couldn't do anything for me because I didn't have any health insurance. So I knew I had to take a different step, and that's when I found out about the academy.
Wow, that's great. So that's so cool. And so we're talking about healing today, extraordinary healing, actually. Where does inner healing begin?
Well, it certainly begins on the inside, but we have to, because we hold everything in our subconscious or in our nervous system. So we have to learn to change our limited thinking. As children, if we're told we're not good enough or we're not smart or we'll never amount to anything, these are stored in our subconscious forever and ever. And the feelings could be stored in our nervous system. So through, I felt like I was divinely guided to certain healing modalities that definitely helped me. And I've seen it helped hundreds of people, and their modalities have been scientifically proven. But when you can do, for example, like a Psyche, a balance, and we are able to shift that limited thinking permanently out of your subconscious. I connect with people energetically, and I'm very intuitive, so I can feel what they really, really need. And so it starts with getting rid of those limited thinking.
Wow. So you're talking about limited thinking, you're talking about experiences that we have growing up, because anytime people start talking about subconscious, I always think about, okay, this is a lot of childhood stuff we didn't even know that we know or we're carrying with us. But let's talk specifically about trauma. What happens when someone experiences trauma, and what happens, to them, their psyche, but what happens and how is it stored in the body?
Well, because the trauma, we react to trauma in different ways, especially if people have dissociated with it. As we grow up and we have to deal with these, then we are facing situations like insomnia, depression, PTSD, anxiety, and situations like this, they start off in our body as dis-ease. And when they're not taken care of, the dis-ease becomes disease. And then we're dealing with health issues.
Okay, so are there specific places in the body that things get stuck or stored?
The negative thoughts or words or verbal abuse that's directed to us is stored in the subconscious, and we may remember them, we may not. We may forget them. And that's why a lot of times when people grow up, they can't understand why they're not who they want to be, and they're not receiving the money that they want. Because if you were told you're never going to make any money, that's still playing out and sabotaging yourself. And then we have the emotions and the feelings, the anger, whatever, stored in our nervous system, and a process called EFT or tapping through certain points on the body. You can release all of that out of the nervous system. And these modalities help us shift. You can create a shift in 3 minutes or less. I've seen people do it even, in less than a minute.
It's amazing. Yeah, you've been working with clients for a long time, Cindy. I know that, helping them with their own healing. With all the clients that you've worked with, have you found that there are any common obstacles that a lot of people face that are just the same?
Fear is the biggest one.
Fear.
And dealing that with myself when I was younger, when I learned I had to go through my own healing process. Oh man, fear was just, I didn't even want to I didn't even want to go there. So the fear was intensified. And I thought, this isn't going to work. I can't deal with this anymore. I'd rather know what I need to heal from than to stay in the fear. And there's a scripture that says, and the truth will make you free. So if we don't deal with that truth and take care of it and learn how to heal our body, then we're not going to know the truth, and we're going to stay stuck. We won't be able to move forward.
And is there something, so you're saying fear, but so is there something specific that many people are fearful of?
Healing, finding out the truth, what they have to heal from, I think is a fear. Could be going for a job. It could be speaking. It could be getting your book written. I've worked with children who have had a phobia of spiders, and it's only taken one session to clear that. A young teenage girl was fearful of flying, and one session we were able to clear that. I've worked with a grandmother actually. She was in her late 50s, and she said in 50 years she's always woke up with a negative feeling and thought about herself. So after one session, she called me the next morning and said, it's the first time in 50 years I woke up with a positive thought about myself.
Wow.
So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. That was great. It's so interesting because I think that, being a healer or helping people to heal in their lives, I think that you probably hear a lot of things that people don't tell other people, or they don't express about themselves. And so that's why I was wondering what people do. Tell me this though. You said, you mentioned all these different healing modalities that you use, that you studied in the healing arts. Tell me about some of those, the healing work that you use with people and how it helps them in the different areas of mind, body, and spirit.
Mm-hmm. I use Psyche, which is getting rid of the limited thinking in your mind. And we do balances. And because I connect with people, I usually use Zoom, especially if they're out of the country, or by phone. So when I connect with someone energetically, then I could do muscle testing for them and find out where in the areas that they need healing. It could be anywhere from relationships, prosperity, grief and loss is a big one. I've worked with pets, happiness, purpose, fulfillment, any area. And where you might think it's one area, you'd be surprised how many times the subconscious, it's in another area. So, and clearing up one area can clear up some other issues also. So Psyche is working with the balance. So muscle testing and finding out what the subconscious needs, then I explain, first of all, I will find out from your subconscious the best balance to do for that. Another process is tapping. I'm certified in Tapping into Wealth program, and that's tapping on a certain point. Some people are familiar with that when you're tapping. And so they repeat things after me.
Yeah, explain a little bit about that. So I know about EFT, but I know some of our listeners might not know what that is exactly. So I know you're saying tapping, and I know the tapping points. How does that work? Like, why does it work?
Emotional freedom technique helps release as you're tapping along. Okay, let's say we're just tapping on the side of the hand, and you repeat after me. We first want to say, we can say anything that first might be a challenge to us or fearful. I'm afraid of speaking. I don't want to speak. I'm not going to do this. I was told not to speak when I was a child. I was always told to shut up, be quiet, be quiet. But I can do this. I know I can do this. I can speak. I'm an excellent speaker. I'm not afraid to be seen or heard. And then we continue to tap on these points and here and under the arm. And that releases on an energetic level everything that's stuck in the body. And it can help unstuck things in the mind as well. Another process that I really, really love is through meditation, I balance and connect the three brains, the brain, the heart, and the gut. Because sometimes you remember hearing what's your gut telling you, or follow your heart, or listen to your brain, okay? So we have three brains. Through meditation, I balance the three brains, and which helps decision making. I love another healing modality I call quantum energy healing, which through a meditation and breath work and connecting with divine or God, then I'm more intuitive what the person needs, and we just go to the core issue and ask what that is. And either they will be enlightened and something will enter their mind, and they're welcome to share it with me, or I'll have a thought and ask them about something. So it's like a conversation. And then something may not make sense, so I'll share it with that person and they'll say yes, and they'll explain it. So, and during this process, we clear it.
Terrific. So how do you decide which of these modalities to use with the client that's in front of you?
I intuitively feel what it is that they need, but I usually start off with using Psyche. So we get rid of and break down some of those walls that they have in their subconscious.
Mm-hmm. And you said Psyche was a balance. Is that a physical balance, or you're talking about emotional balancing?
The balance that I'm talking about is a physical one. For example, I will muscle test. We cross the ankles, we cross the wrists. That puts us in a position where we're in a whole brain position, and the right brain and the left brain are working together. And that's
Great.
where the shift can be created.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. So Cindy, it sounds like you are really into this. You love this. You're very passionate about doing this healing work with your clients, and you just love it. Why are you so passionate about helping people heal and then create this extraordinary life after or through their healing?
I just love people. And because I'm an empath, I feel on a deeper level what they're feeling. And so I understand them. I've been there. It brings me great joy when I see people's face change. They're smiling and laughing after a session rather than crying or being fearful. I hear and receive testimonials of the shifts that they've created. I've helped healers with their situations. I've helped people out of depression and suicide. There's 2 women who have been extremely, extremely abused on all levels. And I worked with them for about a year. And it's like even after the 3rd session, I see their countenance is shining and they're happy. And both of them have now taken their own healing classes and helping others. And it just lifts my spirits and gives me a reason to wake up in the morning.
Awesome. Yep. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. So Cindy, I know this has been great, and thank you for sharing this information with us and telling us more about what you do and all this beautiful healing that is possible for us, which I think gives people a lot of hope and encouragement, especially if they're suffering in some way right now. So thank you for that. Also, I know you have a gift for our listeners. Will you please tell us what that is and how they can get that, and also how they can learn more about you?
Yes, thank you. If they go to my website, healunafraid.com. That's my website, and I have some videos on there and some music that I have had friends create that will help heal your heart, your root chakra, house clearing, and then I'll be putting more on there. But there's a page that you can download your information and write to me, and then you'll be on my list. And I also I've got some great things coming up in the near future this month and next month, and I'll be posting those also. So love to have everybody come and join.
Wonderful. Thank you. And what's that website again? Heal Unafraid?
Heal Unafraid.
HealUnafraid.com. Awesome. Well, Cindy, thank you so much. I so appreciate you being a part of this whole project. I love your story in the book. I know that our listeners will be excited to read that too. And also, thanks for being here and sharing this information and yourself with us today.
Oh, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much. And I do have a quote I like to leave with everyone, share with everyone. It's from Helen Keller. She's my hero. And she said once, "When we do the best that we can, We never know what miracles is wrought in our life or in the life of another.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, you're right. Miracles abound, and they're all around us. So thank you. And listeners, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for paying attention to life, paying attention to your own life journey, being consciously aware of what's going on, and also being open and willing to take some of this practical guidance that our authors are listening to and bringing it into your own life to bring more ease and peace and joy on your own journey of transformation. And I invite you to buy this book, The Art and Truth of Transformation for Women, on launch day, which is October 20th. If you go to our website, transformation-book.com, you will be guided to Amazon to buy the book. You'll bring your Amazon receipt number back to us, plug it in, and you will have access to more than 35 gifts from our authors and partners. So this is terrific stuff. You'll not only have these 20 amazing stories in the book, you'll also get all these amazing gifts. You can download one, you can get all 35, whatever you want. It's all there for you. So thank you so much. I look forward to you having all of that because I know that you are on a conscious journey of your own. Thank you all for being here. Have a great day. Wish you a beautiful, beautiful day.